Good afternoon, good evening, this is John Paul Wright. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and today we're going to talk about social justice warriors again, and one big bad social justice warrior by the name of Rian Johnson. And I didn't quite think of him as a social justice warrior before his latest tweet, and this is exactly what social justice warriors do. So there's some confusion about the term social justice warrior. A lot of people think it's just somebody who goes along with the crowd, who likes everything, who is kind of racist and calls people racist, all this stuff. But what a real social justice warrior does is they try to correct the wrongs of the past. And this is exactly what Rian Johnson is trying to do with this tweet. Let me read it. I have never once, not one single time, ever attacked someone for just not liking the movie. Show me a tweet where I do that. I have never and never would. But if someone is an abusive asshole, I have zero hesitation in calling them an abusive asshole. Okay, so right away, everybody jumps, he's a liar, that son of a bitch, why is he saying this stuff? And yeah, he is lying, but the reason he's saying this stuff is, we have to think about it. Now, take 15 years in the future. People are going to look back on this event about The Last Jedi, how it was perceived to be this game-breaking Star Wars movie that split the fandom. But the thing is, they're going to be looking at people like Rian Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, maybe the biggest opinions in the industry, Mark Hamill. You know, people like that. So, if they dig up a tweet like this, Rian Johnson wants it to act as proof that he didn't say anything. Because his word is going to look a lot more credible 15 years from now when somebody who wasn't actually following this news wants to kind of learn about the situation. They're going to look at stuff like this. Which is exactly what social justice warriors do. They lie, and they do things to change the perception of the past. For example, they want to put more diversity, political correctness, more women in movies, so when people look back on movies, they don't think that movies of the 80s and the 90s who didn't have that diversity and less women were these evil movies. So what I'm saying is they're trying to correct the past. And this is what I keep saying about Japan and why social justice warriors cannot be in Japan, is because there's no past to correct. Nobody's going to come here and try to correct the past. Everybody here is pretty happy with the past. Yeah, there's a few details about war and things like that, but as far as the entertainment industry goes and things like that, no one wants to correct the past here. Another good example is the prequel era. If you weren't actually alive in the prequel era, in an age where you could kind of look at the news and talk about people involved, if you're like 2 years old, something like that, you don't really know what was going on. All you could do is look back and figure it out based on articles, things people tell you, but you don't really know what it felt like to be in that era and have that divide in the fan base. You have to just take people's word for it on how it was divided. So for me, it was divided, but it was a more friendly division. It was a more anger towards George Lucas, like, why did you do that, man? Not like, we're gonna kill you, you son of a bitch, we hate Star Wars. It was just a more civil division, if you will. But the thing is, people now who are shills and defenders of The Last Jedi want to put out information to make that era look as bad as possible, because it would mean that the fanbase was split before in the same way, and it was no big deal that The Last Jedi did it. So, they're SJW warriors, and again, they want to change the perception of the past, which is what Rian Johnson is trying to do here. I don't know how smart the guy is. I don't think he's an idiot. That's what he's doing. And of course, he deleted 20,000 something odd tweets, so it's hard to take his word for it anyway, but will people in the future know that? Probably not. It wasn't like this huge mainstream news, so they won't know about that. So his word will look better as time goes on. Which is why people like the channels we like, you know who they are, and me, for example, just want to keep making videos and just kind of put out the truth, or at least give people a way to have a perception of the truth, or at least know what's going on. Because this isn't an example of, oh, he's just being a douchebag now and he's just lying now. There's a long-term plan for what social justice warriors do. They don't just think about now, although sometimes it seems like that. And also, I don't like calling people SJWs or NPCs. I've been through this a few times. Even recently in the video I said I wanted to get more like intellectual about things, and I do. But when there's such a clear case that somebody actually is, then, yeah, I'm just going to have to say it. You know, this tweet here, this is proof that Rian Johnson is in fact a social justice warrior. He knows damn well now that people know he's lying, that, you know, people perceive him, lash out in a certain way. So that's what I'm saying. To wrap my thoughts up, he is not doing this for now. He knows that in the future, people are going to perceive him probably better than they do now, because things will have been forgotten. There's going to be a new generation who's going to be checking things out, so their perception won't be perfect. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the bottom, in the comments. And this channel's growing little by little. Kind of messed up that ending. I'll see you next time.